So the Cain Velasquez situation is unbelievably sad because I mean, for those of you don't know, Cain Velasquez is a former UFC heavyweight champ, All-American wrestler at Arizona State. They called him Cardio Kane. You know, he's only 6'1", 240, and he obliterated people in the octagon. Like, people, I think because he's not much of a personality, he's just kind of a traditional masculine, just grunt, bench press, kick a dude in the dick kind of guy. You know, he's not much for media. He never went on Conan in a purple suit like Conor McGregor and told you what he was going to do. He was a guy that worked at the steel mill. He punched in, laced up his boots, and went to work every fucking day. People, he never got the notoriety. To give you an example, Brock Lesnar, who everybody knows in the WWE, national runner-up, national champ, four-time All-American at the University of Minnesota, went to the WWE. Cain Velasquez and Brock fought, and Cain beat him senseless in the first round. Can you even fathom that? Like, Brock Lesnar is like 6'4", 280 of muscle. Cain's like 6'1", 240, dad bod. And he beat his ass in the first round. Like, Brock. And it wasn't like, he took him down, put him in a submission, caught him with a good punch and put his lights on. No, Cain, was literally chasing Brock as Brock was falling over like an unsteady fucking mannequin, just flopping all over like one of those rubber crash dummy dolls in a driving commercial. And Cain beat his ass, so that's who Cain Velasquez is. But I saw the news story that Cain had shot at somebody in San Jose, and I was like, oh no, like, was it road rage? Like, what the hell did Cain get into? You find out later, the reason Cain shot at this guy, was Cain had a family member. Obviously, the police and courts aren't releasing it, but everybody, says it was his daughter. Was sorry, NSFW, but his daughter was molested a lot. Like, this guy was a serial offender, and he did that to Cain's daughter. And I guess this guy who did it, his mom owned a daycare. I guess he lived with his mom. So it was like, I don't know, man. It's just the sickest, most saddest thing in the world. And so, Cain found out about this, and I guess the guy went to court, and they let him out with probation. I guess they were waiting for a second court date to sentence him, and he had house arrest or had to wear an ankle bracelet. So this guy gets out of court where he's charged with molesting Cain's daughter. They say over 100 times. And I guess this guy was riding around with a couple of his other family members in San Jose. And I guess Cain just tracked him down and rammed his car into the guy's and just open fired into the car. Didn't hit the guy, but I think Cain shot like his dad or somebody. I mean, dude, it's the saddest thing in the world, because you get it, man. I mean, I know it's very unwoke and just really emotional and visceral and really cruel of me, but like, if you're just accused or caught and there's like, I don't know, I don't feel bad is the thing. Like, some crimes, I think we all get, like, if you're down on your luck and you grab some jewelry out of the display and put it in your pocket and you want to sell it at the pawn shop, you're hooked on drugs, you need some cash. I mean, that stuff like that I get. Like, I can totally understand, but like, to do that and to go that far and to do such horrible things to another person, I don't even know how we keep you in society. Because it's one thing, I don't know, I'm no fucking psychologist, but if, I don't know, say for example, a person was a victim of that when they were a kid and they got older and they went to a psychologist, they never did anything to anybody else, but they talked about how they're dealing with it and their thoughts. I mean, that's one thing. I'm not here to, I'm not, I'm not running around, putting people with differences in jail or exterminating, you know what I mean. And so the hard thing is that I think when somebody's willing to cross that line, like, I just don't even know how you rehabilitate somebody. if they're willing to take it to that place. And so it sucks because now Cain's going to have to do some time. I mean, you can't take the law into your own hands, and you can't just open fire. You know, if one of those bullets ricocheted and hit a totally innocent standby or bystander, God, I can't even talk, and, you know, killed them. I, you know, that's really terrible, but I get why he did it, the rage he must have felt. I can't remember who I heard say this, but somebody on a podcast said, ideally, Cain just would have waited till that guy was totally alone, got to him, and just beat him to death with his hands, you know, which he easily could have done. And I agree with that. That way the guy gets what he deserves. There's no victims. But then again, you know, Cain's going to have to do some time. And I hope the judge, you know, gives him maybe a slap on the wrist and, you know, a couple weeks, months in jail seems reasonable to me from a moral, ethical level, but, you know, it's California and they're quite penal when it comes to, like, gun charges and all that, so. I don't know. Everybody's saying free Cain, but the real loser is just his daughter and the family, because now they're not going to have their dad. It's just going to be a big, ugly ordeal, so I guess support and love to Cain, and I hope we can just resolve all this soon.